Welcome to the podcast. We're kicking off the 4th season of the podcast, a space designed to have raw, real, and authentic conversations around health and wellness, featuring none other than our incredible pure ambassadors of wellness.
Hi, my name is Leanna.
Hi, I'm Matthew.
Hello, my name is Bryce Lowenthal.
Hi, I'm Victor, and we're going to get started with the first question. If you had the free time, which would you choose, sleep or video games?
For the first one, I would choose video games. It's kind of a hard habit to have because I just want to finish the game and conquer the next level, but afterwards I'll get tired and then fall asleep.
Definitely sleep. I think some nights when I want to kind of splurge, I'll do some video games or go on my phone or something, but grand scheme me is Bryce, you need to get some good sleep, so I'm usually choosing sleep.
For me, even though I do really like video games, I would probably prefer sleep just because I always want to catch up with my sleep. I feel like with schoolwork and stuff, that's what I tend to gravitate to.
I agree. I think I don't realize how much time goes into video games, but I try to prioritize it. I'm like, okay, I'll be on for 2 hours, and then I go to sleep because I need to prioritize my sleep for sure.
All right, sleep versus music.
That one's hard for me because I'm a musician, so I definitely have sacrificed my sleep for music, but that's different. Video games is you could argue that there's no value, future value in that unless you want to be a gamer or something, but with music, that's something that I want to do as a profession possibly, so I think the time spent on that is valuable, but I try to separate it.
That one's an interesting one to me because music and sleep kind of go hand in hand. I like to listen to classical music, soft rock, and even love songs because it's just getting me in that relaxing, comforting mood, and then I would just fall asleep listening to it.
Yeah, I think for me, I try to combine them together. So I'll put on music on my Alexa and set a sleep timer. So by the time I'm asleep, hopefully the music will be asleep.
Yeah.
But then what tends to happen is I start jamming, and then I'm like, I can't go to sleep.
Yeah.
So then I end up having to turn it off. So I definitely agree with that.
Mm-hmm. I think I would also choose sleep in this category too. Same reason for the video games, even though I like music. I don't know, I just tend to gravitate towards sleep. All right, sleep versus snacking.
That one, I don't really snack at night. I don't really have a huge appetite, so I'm usually asleep before I get hungry. Yeah. Go to bed earlier.
I think same thing here. I really try not to snack because I find myself eating too much, so yeah, I agree.
Definitely sleep. That's the one I would choose.
Me, I would choose snacking just because I love snacking. I love to just eat whenever I get the chance. I like to work while snacking, so that's my preference. How about sleep versus doom scrolling?
So my attitude with that is that I definitely choose sleep over that, but my behavior probably is more it's equal. I do doom scrolling when I should be asleep, and then I regret it the next morning. I'm like, why did I spend an hour and a half on Instagram when I could have gotten an extra hour and a half of sleep?
100%. I even find myself while doom scrolling, I'm like, why am I doing this right now?
Yeah.
And then I hop back on and another hour passes by. So I definitely agree with that.
It's what those social media giants want. They want us addicted to that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Sacrificing our sleep.
Sleep for me. I want to reduce the screen time, so definitely sleep.
Yeah, that's really good. I wish I could say sleep, but sometimes I just end up in that loop of scrolling. Sometimes when I'm about to head to bed, but I'm trying to lower that or stop doing that because I know how bad it is. I also want to try to, reduce my screen time before I go to bed.
How about sleep versus errands?
Sleep for me, but I know errands is important to get out the house and get important things done, as well as staying productive.
Well, I feel like I never am in a situation where I need to sacrifice sleep for errands. Usually I can get that done during the day, and nothing is pertinent enough to where I'm 10 o'clock at night, I need to go get groceries or something. What about you?
I think for me, for some reason, I like cleaning my room when it's late at night, right before I go to sleep. But I still ensure I have enough time to go to sleep. So yeah. I don't think they affect each other at all. So
yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I personally really like doing errands, either just by myself or with friends. I really like going out, so I'd probably choose errands for that. And then last but not least, sleep versus chores.
I think it's kind of the same for errands. Like I usually get it done earlier in the day. But if it's like, oh, I have laundry to do for the next day, or I have something that's really important that needs to get done before the morning, I find myself sacrificing sleep for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I think I tend to do things early in the morning when it comes to chores, so I'd like to think that it doesn't affect my sleep, but it probably does.
Yeah. I'll do the next question.
Sleep for me. I think it depends what chore. I enjoy chores like washing dishes, laundry, or vacuuming. But if it's anything else, I'll choose sleep.
Yeah, this one's a hard one because if I see that I have chores I need to do, then I'll probably do that, but then sometimes I'm lazy, so then I'll choose sleep. Yeah.
Question number 2. How do you manage screen time before bedtime to promote better sleep?
I think the biggest thing I do is I set a sleep alarm on Apple, so it'll tell me like it's time to go to sleep,
Yeah.
and it'll set do not disturb, so I don't see like messages, and that tends to help me at least realize like I should be asleep right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Reminder.
how about you?
Yeah, I kind of do the same thing. I don't use the app, but I really should. Wait, so real quick, does it actually like automatically turn your phone on Do Not Disturb?
Yeah, so it'll set, it's like a timer. So like, for example, if I want to go to sleep at 11 p.m., it'll set it, and then it says sleep timer on, and then Do Not Disturb turns on. Yeah, and you can also set low blue light mode so that there won't be too much blue light.
Dang, I did not know that.
Yeah, check it out.
New stuff every day. Okay, yeah, that's great. My way of doing it is kind of just like, I try to just pay attention to the clock late at night, and I'll be doing stuff too, like music, for example, like I said earlier. So I try to not get lost in that, but I'll be like, yo, at 11 p.m., no going on my phone, brightness all the way down, lights down in my room to limit the blue light, like you said, because that'll reduce the melatonin that gets released, which eventually will prime my brain for sleep. So yeah.
Let's see. One of the things that I like to do is, even though it kind of requires technology, I like to just lay in bed and play a ASMR sound video on YouTube. That's my thing, my go-to. Just because I tend to, at the end of the day, kind of think a lot. Like I tend to overthink what happened throughout my day, what I need to do for like the upcoming days, and that kind of leads to a lot of anxiety. So I've noticed that when I have the ASMR videos playing, that my mind will kind of be more silent, and I could get to relax and like be more restful while also like not technically touching the phone. So that's kind of my way.
So like that's a good way for you to clear your mind and decompress, right? Okay.
Before going to bed.
That's good. For me, I'd like to do some stretching and even go on a walk for about 30 minutes just to clear my mind like you would do, and do something relaxing, such as reading a book, but haven't had too much time for that because of school being busy and busy reading textbooks.
Yeah, for sure. I feel you.
How are you engaging in hobbies that promote mindfulness?
Yeah, for me, recently I've actually enjoyed getting into yoga. I do that like 2 or 3 times a week. Yeah, it's a good way to clear my mind and stretch. It helps with posture and flexibility. So I do that at nighttime before I go to bed. Just take out the yoga mat and find a quiet space and clear my mind.
I like how you mentioned posture, because I'm also trying to be mindful about my own posture, especially when I'm just working on assignments, essays, and whatnot. I try to be mindful about how I'm sitting, because a lot of times I tend to slouch. But every so often I check to like see how I'm like sitting, and I make sure I'm sitting up straight. And then I also like to have stretch breaks as well, just to be mindful about how my body is feeling, if I need any breaks. And let's see, what else? I also like to go on walks around campus if I'm feeling really stressed out. I'll either go by myself or with friends, just because I feel like that activity helps to relieve my mind and like take those things off of my mind for just a second. I'm trying to think of other things that I do. I also have been really interested in music, so I've actually been kind of practicing the ukulele, and I feel like that has been able to help me be more mindful about like what I'm doing throughout the day and like how to take care of my own mental health.
I heard the ukulele was pretty simple to play.
Yeah,
right?
it's actually really simple. Like I only know like 5 chords, but I mean it's really fun and it's like a really great starting instrument.
That's good. If I remember correctly, it has 6 strings, right?
It has 4.
4,
Wait.
okay.
Yeah, 4. All right.
Yeah, to add on, like I also like going to the Peace Garden. That's a good place to people watch and enjoy nice days like today.
Well, I practice meditation in the morning and at night, and that's a very mindful activity. Centering one's attention on their breath and their body, not on their thoughts in the past or the future, trying to keep it in the present. It really helps my mental health and helps focus and clarity, because you're just focusing on one thing in the now, which is really not what we're doing a lot in our daily day-to-day life. It's focusing on prepping stuff for the future or dwelling on the past. So it's really important to just ground yourself. So yeah, meditation. Personally, I'm also a musician, and that's a very mindful activity when I'm playing bass guitar or drum set. That keeps me in the moment because I'm having to think about what I'm playing, right? I'm not thinking about like, man, I got an essay tomorrow. Like, oh, I gotta do that. No, I'm in the moment, So those are my 2 biggest things: meditation and music.
So as someone myself that doesn't practice mindfulness enough, what would you recommend would be a good starting place?
It's a great question. Just go into it like thinking really simple. Like just set a timer for 5 minutes, and you don't have to know all the different types of meditation and all the different things. Set a timer, close your eyes, and just breathe, and just listen to the noises around you. And every time your mind wanders on like, I gotta do this tomorrow, or this happened in the past, just like silently ignore that and then come back to your breath and just think of inhale, exhale, and just keep your eyes closed. And just do that for 5 minutes, see how you feel afterwards. And if you feel good, which you probably will, then try to do that in the future and do it for even longer, maybe 10 minutes, And do that once a day, preferably twice a day. I do it in the morning and night. It's a great way to start and end the day. Discuss the role of nature and outdoor spaces in your mindfulness practice. How does spending time in nature contribute to your overall sense of calm? And have you ever tried journaling in nature?
For me, I think nature is a really big part of my making sure that I'm staying mindful and whatnot. Like I had said earlier, I like to take walks around campus, especially around the more scenic areas. And I also I have been enjoying running lately. So I would say that that's how I try to incorporate nature. I also try to not be on my phone while I'm walking, because sometimes I feel like I tend to do that, especially when I'm really busy and I know I have to be looking at emails or text messages and stuff. So just putting my phone away in my pocket and just kind of taking in the sounds of nature and the breeze, everything like that has been able to help me with staying mindful.
So I think mindfulness when it comes to nature, I think just being outside, something about that, as humans, we need sun and the things that are outside. I think I definitely feel that, whether that's walking around and looking at the plants rather than thinking about my homework assignment. I think in that sense, maybe I'm more mindful than I realize.
Yeah.
And yeah, how about you?
Yeah, that's good. I agree. I think being outside is really important. We spend a lot of time inside, whether that be school, in our car, at work, if our work is inside, right? And yeah, we need the vitamin D from the sun. It's good for our eyes too. I don't know if that's something that you're aware of, but getting sunlight in your eyes actually can set your circadian rhythm too, which more on that later with sleep. But it can help your energy, and I think it boosts your mental health too, getting the vitamin D and everything. So, but as far as journaling, I haven't done a lot of journaling in nature. It kind of reminds me that I need to do that more. But I do kind of spend some time meditating while walking, or just trying to be really mindful while I'm outside.
Yeah, I agree. I think maybe I'll look into journaling. I haven't really thought of that as something that I should do, but that's a good idea.
For me, I also like going on walks. I'm really big on travel, so going to Yosemite, the sequoias. I enjoy going to, just up the foothills because of seeing all the different trees and the scenery. And it's really calm and relaxing, has a nice, comforting vibe. I never tried journaling before. That would be really nice to try one day, just to get your thoughts out on paper and collect your mind as well.
Yeah, I actually haven't like really had the chance to journal either. I have downloaded journaling apps and I've like started a little bit, like maybe like the first day like I downloaded it, I would try to journal, but then it's hard for me to keep a habit of it.
Yeah.
But it definitely seems like something that would be really great for me as an overthinker. So definitely want to try doing that.
I read that it's better to do journaling with pencil and paper because it just gets your mind off of, you might be distracted on your phone or anything like that.
Yeah, that's good to know. I'll probably try that too. Thank you. All right, last question. Right, it says, have you ever meditated before? And if you have, how long have you meditated? What do you think about it? Or how do you position your body?
I've tried meditation before just recently, and I tried to do it every night, but it's hard to stay consistent. I have my yoga mat and sit crisscross applesauce and have a nice straight posture. And I always try to find a quiet time with my door shut in my room and have soft classical music playing. And it's a good way for me to just clear my mind and clear my thoughts and not be distracted about anything else, because I tend to overthink too, like you mentioned before.
Yeah, I feel like it is really hard to be consistent with meditation. I try to do it sometimes, but because of like my busy, hectic schedule, it's really hard to like find a time where you're like going to commit just sitting still, closing your eyes and stuff. But when I do it, I try to do it in silence. But sometimes with music, it is helpful. So I kind of like vary it, I would say. And then I also like to sit crisscross applesauce with my eyes closed, just so that I can relax. And then I also try to focus on my breathing as well. I find that when I am feeling anxious, being able to focus on my breathing has definitely helped with making sure that I can relax more.
Yeah. I forgot to mention too, like I take 10 minutes out of my day, usually at nighttime, just to meditate. And it's just a good way to end the day before going to bed.
Yeah, so I've been practicing mindfulness meditation for about 7 years now, and I started in high school, and my daily thing is like 10 to 20 minutes per day, right? But I guess my longest time, I did spend an hour and a half meditating one time.
Wow.
And that might sound like not a long time, or that might sound like a long time. In the moment, it flew by, but then I also felt like I was in a good space for a long time, and I feel like I came out of it like transformed, like really. And that might sound cliche, but when you spend that amount of time not on your phone, you're just practicing being in the moment, focusing on your breath, it really was like healing, to be honest. Yeah, so I highly recommend setting aside some space and some time to meditating.
So I personally have not meditated much. What is a good time period for someone to start with? 5 minutes, is that enough?
Yeah, I think 5 minutes is good. It's right in between too little and too long. As you get more used to it, I think 10 minutes you'll find to be more beneficial without being overly long. But yeah, just start with 5 minutes. Kind of like I said earlier, just set a timer on your phone. 5 minutes, don't go on your phone, close your eyes, focus on your breath.
Awesome, thanks for that advice.
Of course, yeah, thank you.
Make sure you're following us on Instagram at FS Health Center, where we're going to share more opportunities to take that deeper dive into wellness and to have some fun at the same time. You can also visit our website at fresnostate.edu/health to learn more about the programs and services available at the Student Health and Counseling Center.